Hello. How are we? How's it going, everyone? Welcome. How's everybody doing today? Hi, Karen. Yes, girl. We are decked out because well, I'll tell you guys in a minute while we are so decked out today. Come on in. Let's chat a little bit. Swagoo. Hi, Instagram. 20 Tools, Bobby Cox, Paula, TMMR, Tamar. You love the outfit. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Y'all come on in and we'll chat about what this is all about. Trust me, you'll understand. Welcome to Fun Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. Can't be. What's going on? All right, you guys. So I don't know if y'all know, but apparently you have to be like broke, busted, and disgusted to get your driver's license to get a voter ID. And I'm just like, they're saying that the women, the married women, we don't know how to get IDs. So I just thought I would pop up in here with my fancy self, because I guess you got to be fancy to get an ID. You got to be like this. This is how me and my girls, this is how me and my co-host, my female co-host, this is how we up in the DMV.
Start gonna walk on.
Yeah, that's us. That's how we roll up in the DMV. Okay. What's happening? What's popping? That's what we do. We're classy. We're classy like that. Yes, please hit the like button. Hit the like button and subscribe. Please do, please do. This is what we're doing though. Hi, IG. Are y'all, do you have your DMV outfit? Do you have your DMV drip? I need you all to get your DMV drip, because this is you have to be extra, when you go to the DMV. Okay, you can't just go there. If you're just like a regular Black person, you can't just show up to the DMV, because the Democrats have informed us that Black people don't know how to go to the DMV. Only the elites, only the fantastic and fabulous, I guess, know how to go and get a driver's license to register to vote. Because all of the Black elites are telling us that, you bums out there, the bums they don't know how to get an ID. So I don't know. All right, you guys. Okay. All right. Okay, I can't do the whole show in this get up. Can't do the whole show in this get up, because you know what? The pause is pausing. Okay. We can't do the whole show in that get up. Oh, you're a lovely non-factor, whoever you are. Faz, Fakir, Aziz. Oh my goodness. How are we doing? How is everybody? What is going on? What are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? Do y'all have plans? Do y'all do Valentine's Day? Does your husband, is he like, all about the Valentine's Day? Put some gold hearts in the chat for me if you do Valentine's Day. Throw some gold hearts in the chat. 22 says, I'm eating pecan ice cream in the French Quarters. Life is good on Friday the 13th. Okay, in the French Quarters. Karen's going to be going out to dinner. Okay. I am going out to dinner as well. What are you guys doing? Some of us are in the French quarters, honey. Living life. Life is good. Life is good in the French Quarter. Let me move that back just a little bit. Life is good out there in the French Quarters. Um, White Girl Magic says, here we go. Race and IQ question. Which gender's genes are more significant? Okay, we're not doing that right now. We have a show to do. So let's go ahead and get started with our first because this Fridays are lighthearted, we deal with a lot of serious stuff, but we can't always be serious. We got to lighten the mood sometimes. And Fridays are a good, why not on Friday? Where is my, hold on. It's always, yes, fun Fridays. Okay, here it is. Okay. So speaking of Valentine's Day, speaking of Valentine's Day and pagans, there was a photo going around on X of, an often talked about subject over here. These folks. These folks right here. So now it's Valentine's Day. So I thought this would be a good topic. So we know who this is. This is Candace and her husband, George. Now, South Africa is in the building. Hello, South Africa. Please hit that like button as y'all come on in. Please do. Thank you so much. So here's the thing. They're trying to purport themselves as just like, this great couple and they got it all together. But the problem is this picture went viral and everybody's talking about how Candace looks sort of manly and George looks a little, how you doing? Now, what caught my eye? It wasn't the crossed legs. Right here. It wasn't the crossed legs. It was the thigh. Do you see that? Do y'all see the thigh kind of action that's thrown towards us a little bit? Do you guys see the thigh action? Do y'all see that on IG? That's what it, right, Karen? It's a little, you know what I'm saying? That's what got me about this photo. Everybody was like, yes, Candace, she looks rather firm, rather manly. She looks like she is the leader. Karen says my husband doesn't sit like that. Neither does mine, especially with that thigh thrust. It's just kind of it's like kind of right at you. You know what I mean? And that's what really caught my eye. But I would like, did you see the picture? Let me ask that first. Did you guys see the picture? Because it's a little, it's a little thrusty. And now there is also talk that George has had a little some problems with while he was married to Candace. He was not charged, but he was reported, I guess, at work by another employee who said who is a man and said that George was hitting on him. So I'm just saying, like, that allegedly, that's what the guy said. I'm just saying. But I just thought this was appropriate because they purport to be this fancy couple and they doing all the things and then so this photo comes out and people are talking about it. And it just struck me as interesting because while she's pointing the finger at Erica, she's kind of got all this stuff going on in the background. And I don't know, it's just people like that. You got to kind of wonder, maybe it's a distraction or something, so people don't pay attention to what her own husband has going on. And it was recently, 20 Tools on IG says slave owners used to take pictures like this with their colored concubines. If you say so, I don't know. I don't know. I want to show you guys this video because Candace has once again gone too far. It seems like we say that all the time, like how much further can we go? Can she go? Oh, she keeps going. She has, like, her evil seems to have no limits. So check this out. This is pretty low down and dirty, as we say over here.
Like, yeah, you be you. Yeah, I'm so excited. Who knows? Like, yeah, you be you. Yeah, I'm so excited. Who knows? Okay, we're not clear on that. 3-year-old daughter at 2:45 in the morning. That's not when toddlers at the age of 3 wake up. Okay, these are sleep trained toddlers. Gigi wakes up at 2:45. 3-year-old kid, who should be in the REM stage of sleep. Oh, Gigi sleeps in her mother's bed. Just little swapsies there at 3 a.m. in the morning, totally casual. Just curious that they're all awake. It's 2:45 a.m. in the morning. I don't know what's going on. Okay. But the implication is that's what woke up her 3-year-old daughter at 2:45 in the morning. Like, yeah, you be you. Yeah, I'm so excited. Who knows? Okay, we're not clear on that.
Yeah. So I believe that was either yesterday or the day before, but she has been going after their children now and basically saying that, just commenting on what could have possibly happened the night before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I'm just like, sometimes people don't realize that they look like a fool. And I think Candace is definitely there. She's definitely at the stage where she's so much in deceit and she's so consumed by wickedness and evil that she doesn't even see, like, it's anybody can get the smoke, like even the 3-year-olds. She has no regard for anyone. And if you are still thinking that she might not go there, she looks like she's willing to go pretty low, pretty low. Hi, Julian, how are you? Candace is a few beans short of a burrito. Oh yeah. I mean, here we go. Oh, we have some Candace fans. Look, or Charlie, just landing from Asia, is still have the same body clock and therefore still wired. Oh, okay. Wait. Maybe not. Maybe not a Candace fan. Maybe they are sane. Sounds like they're sane. Okay, so yes, Phantom. Maybe Charlie just sorry for that quick judgment. I apologize. Yes, maybe Charlie was just up. Maybe he's just, maybe you should mind your business, Candace. Maybe that. Maybe you don't know what goes on in the in the sacred, intimate circumstances of a marriage. Maybe, I don't know. Like, maybe you should mind your own marriage. Maybe you should mind your own kids. Maybe. I'm just saying. I don't know. I find it's disturbing though. It's really, yeah, she just goes too far. Too far. But hopefully she will soon, realize the error of her ways and stop doing this nonsense to Erica and Charlie and their children. I don't know if she will, but hopefully she does. But in more lighter matters, we have the foolery, the oh so ever present foolery of the left. And this, I mean, this is straight up and down. It's just hilarious. And we have to make fun of it at this point, because if you still believe that the Democrats care, that they, really do care about Black people and just want the best, for the Black and browns. Let's just have a look at this. Hold on. Y'all know, I swear. I need, look, one day this show will have a producer and we will be like, it will be, we'll be back. It'll be smooth transitions and all that stuff. But until then, here we go.
Voting rights is he taking away from Black voters?
Oh, if we look at
the SAVE Act?
The SAVE Act, that's exactly what we're talking about.
How?
That is
How
actually going to continue to
How?
disenfranchise
How?
overwhelmingly a lot of people of color.
How?
There are so many civil rights organizations that have run the data. If we look at the way that it is going to disenfranchise Black voters, it's the same reason why Chuck Schumer called
How?
it Jim Crow 2.0.
So,
this is the same president.
how?
If we want to
You
continue...
haven't said how yet.
I am talking about it. It's
How?
the way that you're putting new poll taxes on this when you're making
Poll
people
taxes?
have... That's what we can call them now. It's kind of an idiom, right? If you want to say that people have to prove that they are citizens, that they have to prove with a voter ID, the reality is you're layering what is a constitutional right for the American people and making it harder for people to vote in this country, and it's going to disenfranchise Black voters.
Concern you that you're making all these claims? You've yet to lay out how it's hurting anyone, but 76% of Black voters think we should show an ID to vote. 80% of Hispanic voters, 83% of the American people. Are you saying that Black voters
the
are
SAVE
too
Act
dumb to
isn't
know
just,
what's good for them? I mean,
the
it
SAVE Act
sounds
isn't
pretty,
just about
it sounds pretty condescending
just
to
to be
me.
clear, the SAVE Act
You
is
get
not
three-quarters
just
of
about
Black voters
IDs.
That is not
who want
right.
voter IDs.
Just to be clear, the SAVE Act is not just about IDs.
Look, watch how they try to flip this. Oh, the SAVE Act is not about IDs, but it is about IDs. But just listen.
The SAVE Act is about
So what?
proof of citizenship.
So what?
So it doesn't.
It's about proof of citizenship. It's not about an ID. Well, how, pray tell, do you prove your citizenship if not with an ID or with some type of identification? A birth certificate is still a form of identification. Anything that can prove who you are is a form of identifying you. So how is this not about IDs? Like, this is, I pray that this is the last election cycle that Democrats try to use the Black and brown can't narrative. The Black and brown can't. Whatever it is, the Black and brown can't. Whatever you want, the Black and brown can't. Whatever it is, voter ID, we can't do that. Knowing how to run your family, can't do that. We need Black people. We need you to post your squares and say Black Lives Matter, because Black people can't. The Black and brown can't. I really hope this is the last year that they try this, because enough Black and brown people, that's how they like to classify us, hopefully enough Black and browns reject it, because at this point it is absolute nonsense. You ain't Black and can't get ID. If you ain't black, you can't get ID. That's what they say. Yep, that's Joe Biden. You ain't black. First of all, he told you that you ain't black. Whoa. First, remember, Joe Biden said, if you don't know who to vote for, then you ain't black. So how do why are you telling me that now I have a vote? I don't know how to get to get an ID to vote. Like 4 years ago, this is what you said. And also at the same time that I can vote because I should be voting for him. They have record numbers of black and browns vote for Joe Biden, but yet they can't get an ID to vote. Now, this is just plumb fascinating. Karen says, yes, he said that, Keisha. I heard him. We heard him too, co-host. Yes, the co-host heard you. Spectator 1123 says, yes, we reject it. Praise the Lord. Please reject it. MC Jeet on IG says, he said if he has to choose between himself and Trump, then you ain't black. Oh, yeah. Well, that too. You still have to vote though. Craig Long. Hi, how you doing? Okay, I hear you. Maybe I need some more skills because this thing it be tripping. So, Julian says it's the Hegel dialectic. Yes, it is, Julian, but this is Fun Fridays. This is what we're surface today. We want to do like the left. We want to just be surface. We're not going into that today, but you are correct. All of this stuff, these are communist tactics. So Kamala said this, and this was pretty funny too.
You're going to have to
wait, hold on. See, Craig, I told you I need a what you call it?
Xerox or photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who you are. Well, there are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't. There's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them. People have to understand that when we're talking about voter ID laws, be clear about who you have in mind and what would be required of them to prove who they are.
Be clear about what you have in mind in order for them to prove who they are. Hi, Realtor. What's up, girl? Lord. I really don't understand, why is it the black and browns can't, like, why is that their first assumption about black and brown people? It's so bizarre. Thomas Nader says, Kinko's, Office Max, are they still around, Kamala? Exactly. Like, you don't even go. Think of this, y'all. That she was the vice president and she's trying to give advice on how to get, like what could be the hangups of getting an ID. When you don't even go to FedEx or Kinko's to get an ID in the first place. If you ask me, I think that was some election interfering. I think that's what that was. I think she was trying to purposefully make people think that that's what you had to do in order to, but I think that was a voter suppression. That was a voter suppression. She was trying to, on the low, advise the black and browns to illegally vote. That's what I think she was doing. The left can make up. I can just make up stuff too. That's what I think she was doing. She was just trying to concoct her own little way of election engineering. Why not? And Shannon on the IG says, Office Max is around, but Kinko's is so 1980s. Isn't it though? It's so 1980s. Like, get with it, Kamala. You and your brown suits. Your brown suits and your big shoulder pads. You and Candace, y'all need to team up. Y'all got more in common than you know. Shannon says on IG, the illegals are getting IDs at Kinko's and they're, but y'all are my people. You know it. You know it. Okay, Black people are struggling to make ends meet, and here we have a racist agenda to make things even harder to make their voice heard. What? Me so thorny? Here we go. Can y'all read the comment? Black people are struggling to make ends meet, and here we have a racist agenda to make things even harder to make their voice heard. You don't speak for all Black people. You don't even bother to post your face. We don't even know if you're Black. Black people are struggling to make ends meet. What Black people? Black Americans? Black Americans are the most successful Black people in the entire world. So who are you talking about? And do you think that so if you're struggling to make ends meet, all of these social programs around here, you have to have ID for that also. And America is the only place that gives a crap about you being Black. So you would be struggling just the same or probably worse anywhere else. Black people are struggling to make ends meet. And here we have to have, so it's, because some Black people are struggling, because some Black people are struggling, then that means that what, they don't have to show ID just like everybody else? I don't get it. Oh, me so thorny. There's no such thing as illegals on stolen land. Okay, well, how can it be stolen land? How do you have stolen land if there are no boundaries? Ma'am, you sound like a ma'am. You're probably a ma'am. Because a lot of women think like this. How can you have stolen land if there's no boundaries? It can't be stolen if there was no place to make a divide. That's yours, this is mine. This is crazy. You see that this is the perfect liberal thinking right there. There's no such thing as stolen land. Yeah. Well, you and Billie Eilish can go. Why don't you and Billie? Yeah. Why don't you just walk up in Billie Eilish's house? You should do that. Just go on over there. Because she said the same thing. Y'all should team up. You just walk on over to her house and just come in the door. Just kick in the door, wave in the fofo. Just kick it on in, blah, and tell her that there are no robbers. There are no house infiltrators. There are no house robbers on properties. Why not? Just do it. Go do that. Right? So here's some more fear mongering from the Blacks and the Browns.
George Clickett, African American Reports. Right now, we're hearing a lot of talk about voter ID and the SAVE Act. SAVE stands for Save American Voter Eligibility. And Republicans are intentionally conflating the two ideas because they know many Americans, whether they be Black Americans or Democrats, support voter ID in some form. But the SAVE Act is not about voter ID. The SAVE Act is about proving you're an American citizen to register to vote. And it will require a passport or birth certificate or a combination of other documents, which could impact many Americans, making it difficult for them to register. So when they're talking about the SAVE Act and voter ID, they're two different things, but they want you to believe that they're the same so that you'll support the SAVE Act. Please pay attention, people. All right, goodbye.
I want the people that's telling everybody else to pay attention. Why don't they pay attention? Like, can you pay attention? Because why would you not want non-citizens to vote? Because that's how they're trying to spin this. They're trying to say it's not about voting, it's about registering to vote. And they just want to make sure that you're a citizen. Yes. We want to make sure that you're a citizen when you bubble in the little circle, pull the lever, or check the box. Like, if the Democrats couldn't get more clear that they want non-citizens to vote, I don't know what more they could do to show the black and browns that this is not about, trying to suppress people. It's literally a trying to have illegals to vote. I don't understand it. I really don't. And yes, call your senators to pass the SAVE Act, because yes, it has passed Congress, but it has not passed the Senate. And we have slim majorities, conservatives have slim majorities over there. So call your senators and tell them you're not playing. So you tell 3 of your friends to call your senators, and then make sure they tell 3 of their friends to call their senators. Okay? All right. So I got one more for you though. Here, this one, they're getting better with the propaganda. The fear mongering is getting there. It's getting top tier. So here's another one.
Got my driver's license last week, just like we always talked about.
Speaking of driver's licenses, did you know that you might need yours to vote in this election? Every state has different laws around voter ID. You might need to show ID at the polls when you vote in person, or when you actually send in your mail-in ballot. But the type of ID you need to vote depends on what state you're voting in. Some states require a current government-issued photo ID, like a driver's license. Other states might accept an expired ID, or even a document like a utility bill to prove that you are who you say you are. You might be asking yourself, why do the rules change so much for what counts as the right voter ID? Well, there is a reason, and our friends at Vote Writers can explain why.
Voter ID laws are super complicated and consistently changing, and that's intentional. Laws that require an ID to vote make it harder for millions of eligible Americans to vote. Now, who's affected more often? Black and brown voters, students, trans and non-binary voters, lower income voters, and that list goes on. In Georgia, for instance...
Wait a minute. So even the transgenders can't vote? Wait a minute. So it's basically like every one of their main voting blocks. So every one of their main voting blocks can't vote. Don't know how to get an ID. And you're just an idiot, basically. That is what Democrats think of you. This is insanity. Here it is, Icky 0510. Shampoo, rinse, lather, repeat. Summer of 2020 all over again. Students need ID at school. Are we serious? Like, it is so ridiculous. Colton Babs says, LMAO, these Democrats have to be the lowest IQ. And think about the people that actually believe it, because it's people that literally believe it. It's fascinating. You will have, I guarantee y'all, because I know I probably do, there's somebody in your family who went to college and will be like, they're trying to suppress the vote, and will tell you this with a straight face. I know y'all got some people in your family like that, because I do too. They will literally tell you that what the Democrats are up to is legitimate. Like, it's wild. It's so crazy. Unbelievable. I mean, dang it.
Their voter ID law specifically impacts HBCU students. Students at 7 out of 10 HBCUs in Georgia cannot use their student ID to vote. That's including Clark Atlanta University, Spelman College, Morris Brown College, Morehouse College, and a few others. All of this is voter suppression, plain and simple. That's barriers that strategically make it harder for young Black and brown voters to make our voices heard.
Clock it. At the end of the day, every state has different voter ID laws. So check yours now at weall.vote/.
Okay, first of all, I want to let you know that That We All Vote, I believe that is an organization headed up by Michelle Obama. And here's another little tidbit for you. If that is the organization that I'm pretty sure it is, or connected to, because they are kind of all run together. They're gangs. They're like mini gangs. They are also in high schools all around the country, and they've been there since like 2018. Yeah, they're in high schools registering like juniors and seniors, kids that are 18 to vote. I'm not saying it's anything wrong, but just don't say anything crazy when TPUSA is up in the schools. Exactly. Thank you. Did I vote Democrat? Do I look crazy? Do I look crazy to you? I wouldn't vote. The Democrats, their policies would have to become conservative for me to vote for them. I am a blood-bought believer. I would never support the things that the Democrat Party supports. I don't find anything over there. In 2026, there is nothing over there that interests me. Nothing. They would have to literally become another party and believe different things, because what they believe now, I wholeheartedly am opposed to. And I try to tear down, cut the head off the enemy every chance I get. Spiritually speaking, of course. All right. Okay, somebody says, I read it's going to be hard to get registered to vote if your last name, Mary, doesn't match your birth certificate. You must have, did you see the beginning where we were all fancy? Because that idea, that this is what that idea is this. You know, the married ladies. This is us going to the DM. This is us registering to vote. Because us married women, we don't know you change your name, and somehow changing your name makes you forget how to just go and handle your regular business. Like, who knew changing your name would you don't know how to vote anymore. Okay. That's what they say. You don't know how to vote anymore. But this is how me and my married friends, this is how we register to vote. We walk up in there like this. Not like that, but like this. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This is how we be walking up in there. Dripped. Stunting. Drip down, zipping it and zoing it. Okay. Clock that, T. How do the young people say? Clock that. Let me click it for you. Clock that, T. Apparently, us married women, we don't know how to handle our business. So ridiculous. Icky05 says, are we just being silly? Marriage certificate, social security, obviously, and be done. Who needs a birth certificate? That's the BS politicians just saving their fear in the sheep. Yeah, it's fear mongering. Everybody knows how to handle their business. If you were smart enough to get married and go down there and get your marriage license, I think you know how to change your name. I think you know how to. I think you know how to do that. Women have been doing amazing things. And speaking of, I'm glad they brought this back up, because I thought they told us that we had Black excellence and Black girl magic. What happened to that? Didn't they tell us that we had Black girl magic and Black excellence? How do we have Black girl magic and Black excellence, but we don't know how to go to the DMV? We don't know how to change our married names. Excuse me. I have Black excellence. Thank you very much. Excuse me. I am Black Girl Magic. Okay. Didn't they tell y'all that? Ciao. You know, sometimes you just got to get fancy. Apparently, you know, only the fancy people, and you just get, just be fancy. Magic stops at the ID. That's right. Oh my goodness gracious. It's so pathetic. It's just so pathetic. All right, let's see. Oh, I came across this. I thought this was pretty funny. This man was attacked. Well, he was almost attacked by a bear. But it's crazy. You have to see this. Like, watch this. Now, when I first saw that, I thought to myself, I said, self, this man has got to be illiberal. Gotta be. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got to be, because that is just insane. Could you imagine? You're just going about, well, okay. Who runs up on a bear? Who runs up on a bear? Like, you're on the left. I guarantee you he was. Okay, let me see what's going on in the comments, because this man, what's going on over here? Does she only read comments that support her worldview? No, that's not true. I love to debate. But if I'm on a topic and I'm trying to explain that topic, I try to stay on that topic. But yeah. Y'all make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you have not. And also share this video. Please share this video out. So I came across this video, and this will certainly put a smile on your face. Y'all you might have seen this like long time ago, like years ago, and it came back around. It's a good one.
Is how do democracies respond to those scandals? And what will it mean for the wider?
Sorry.
And the question is, how do democracies respond to those scandals? And what will it mean for the wider region? I think one of your children has just walked in. I mean, shifting sands in the region. Do you think relations with the North may change? I would be surprised.
Y'all remember this?
Pardon me. My apologies. What's this going to mean for the region? My apologies.
Okay, first of all, I would have been mortified. Now, I have been on national TV. I've been on national TV, And I have had my moments of, stuff not going right and all of that. And like I told y'all yesterday, me just like forgetting my words and all that kind of stuff. No, Phantom. I think his wife, I think that was a nanny. Yeah, I think that was a nanny. But nothing like that. I would have been so mortified. That was crazy, but here's the rest.
South Korea's policy choices on North Korea have been severely limited.
Good morning, all of you.
So this is them now.
The other day with some pictures, and it went viral, and like 30 million people watched it. And here I am talking about it on, British TV 7 years later. The question is, how
maybe that was his wife. I never realized the little girl looked so Asian. That is a trip. Hold on, now I gotta go find the bigger, because there's one that is like it's where you can see the kids better. Let me see if I can find it. Oh gosh. Of course, like when you're actually looking for the doggone thing, it's so hard to find. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Okay, here's the main one. Okay, I found it. This is funny. Hilarious. Okay, so this is so we can really zoom in to the kids, because I never noticed that.
Scandals happen all the time. The question is, how do democracies respond to those scandals?
And what will it mean?
Wait, I'm sorry. The little girl just like that was so adorable to me. She's like, la da da. It's so cute. First of all, they don't care what you're doing. Kids do not care. And she's just, that's my dad, and I'm going to see my dad. I think it's adorable.
For the wider region, I think one of your children has just walked in. I mean, shifting sands in the region. Do you think relations with the North may change?
I would be surprised if they do. Pardon me. My apologies.
Welcome to the Global News Podcast on YouTube, where we go behind the headlines. Hello, I'm Oliver Conway. And today we're asked...
Stop it! Shut up! Wait, what? Dang it. Hold on. Because I had something to say.
Scandals happen all the time. The question is...
Okay. Now... Oh, God. Where is it? Okay. Too much going on. Now, did y'all see? I should have known it was these kids belong to the nanny, or the woman I thought was a nanny, because the way she grabbed that little girl, only a mother. Look at the little baby. Look. Oh my gosh, this is so adorable. Look at her. She's chilling. She's chilling hard. I'm like, yep. What's up? Watch how the mom grabs that little girl.
Pardon me. My apologies.
What's this going to be for the region?
My apologies. South Korea's policy choices on North Korea have been severe.
Oh my gosh, homegirl came flying in like she was Tom Cruise on Risky Business, honey. She slid in there like, I told you to be in that crib. Didn't I tell you to be in that crib? Ooh. Oh, baby. Exactly, Julian. She snatched it. Every mother and father, but mostly moms. We all know that snatch. That's I told you what to do, and here you are doing the opposite snatch. That's what kind of snatch that was. That little girl had been told what to do, and she bopped her little self into that office and did what she wanted to do. Oh, y'all know what I'm talking about. Hi, Megan. Girl, it's a whole key over here today. Because it's Friday. Oh my gosh. Wait, what's this one? Thomas Nader says, I like the video. The media never shows Obama showing his ID to vote while telling the person the importance of voter ID. Insane. That was so funny to me. Exactly. Zoltar slid in there like Tom Cruise. She was on her risky business because them kids were about to get the business. Oh gosh, hilarious. Wait, let's just watch it one more time for kicks and giggles, because Megan just came in and she didn't see it, and Megan's our girl, so we got to show it to Megan. Megan, we're having a whole key about this man being on the news and his kids coming in the room
all the time. The question is, how do democracies respond to those scandals?
And what will it mean for the wider region? I think one of your children has just walked in. I mean, shifting sands in the region. Do you think relations with the North may change?
Mm-hmm.
I would be surprised if they do.
I'm chilling though. I'm chilling.
Pardon me. Pardon me. My apologies.
What's this going to mean for the region?
My apologies. South Korea's policy choices on North Korea have been severely limited in the last 6.
Woo! Oh my gosh. Now, let's take a vote. How many of you think that she tore her behind up? How many of y'all think that? How many of y'all think? Put a 1 in the chat. No, put a gold heart in the chat. Gold heart in the chat if you think that little sweet little girl got her behind tore up on that good day. Do you think she got her behind tore up on that good day? Hi, Cooley Victor. Hello. What up, though? Did she get her behind tore up? Y'all put a gold heart in the chat if Little Miss Sunshine got the business. Not me highlighting my own hearts. I meant to put that post. Wait, not that one. Lord. Anyway. Hilarious. Definitely hilarious. Yes, Megan, the door closed. It's the whole thing. And then at the end with the dad, he's just like, Lord, that long blink. And then he's like, oh my gosh. That is so funny. What? Michael Grimes is so many demons sitting in the... Okay, sir, I'm going to need you to call an exorcist. This is not the right channel for you, but we'll pray for you, though. Goodbye. Goodbye, sir. Yikes. Oh, gosh. Hilarious. That was so funny. Now, I have another story. Okay, it's funny, but it's serious, but it's fun. It's more funny it's shady. Okay, that's what it is. The way they wrote the story is so shady. It's like low-key shade. And it's from a Christian place, but it's like, y'all shady. Okay, so do y'all remember Chip and Joanna Gaines? You remember I loved Fixer Upper. That was my show. Loved it. I was a stan, okay? That was my show. Do y'all remember them? Oh, I got one more thing on Candace and the husband. We'll do it after this, though. Oh, thank you, Zoltar. Thanks so much. You're so sweet. Phantom 96 says, Asian moms don't play. No, they don't. Julian says that video never gets old. But Will 8276 says, my gas is $2.60. Democrats can't say nothing. These policies are trash. Where do you live? $2.60? Yes, and their policies are trash. Let's see. Okay, so y'all remember Chip and Jo, right? Sorry, I'm reading the comments. Chip and Jo, they are on this. Hold on, I'm trying to find sorry. I be having to do a lot of things at one time. So forgive me that, when I pause and I'm trying to get the stuff up, I'm watching comments, I'm trying to make sure y'all can. So just bear with me. Okay, so y'all remember them, right? Y'all remember these folks. So they expanded their brand, I guess. So they were doing this social experiment, I guess, saying that they were going to do fixer-uppers but also with a social experiment and expand the show. And it was supposed to be like family friendly and blah, 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 blah. And they are professing Christians, okay? If you remember, they are professing Christians. But now, this article is right on point. But I want you to catch the shizade that they throw deservingly at Chip and Jo, because they tried it. Chip and Jo, they tried it. They tried all of us Christians. They definitely did. So listen to this. It says, Shiplap and Gomorrah. Okay, so I have to explain this. Shiplap is that, y'all know what shiplap is, but Joanna Gaines loves shiplap. She used to like use it in all her design stuff and things like that. So they titled it Shiplap and Gomorrah. I was like, y'all, shady. Not saying it's not deserved, but shady. Okay, so let's read. It says, hold on, let me pull this over here. It says, Chip and Joanna Gaines, the beloved duo behind the HGTV sensation Fixer Upper, have long presented themselves as exemplars of Christian family life. That image, or perhaps mirage, that had been built over the years was instantly shattered with one social media post last weekend. On Thursday, July 10th, now this is last year, Chip Gaines took to X to cheerfully spread the word about their new show on the Magnolia Network titled Back to the Frontier. Quote, y'all are going to love this show. Social experiment plus family time well spent, end quote. He promised. Here's the tweet. All right. So that's the cover. Now, social experiment? Yes. Family time well spent? Not exactly. And no, we did not love it. Who wrote this? I'm here for it. Chip unfortunately glossed over a pretty big detail. The show features two men in a so-called same-sex marriage. Even worse, these are men who have purchased children via surrogacy. far from being family-friendly, wholesome entertainment. Quote, back to the frontier, end quote, marks a tragic surrender to the sexual revolution and the LGBT agenda. By choosing to feature two men pretending to be married, along with their commodified children, clock that T, okay, with your clickety clack clack, clock that. Pretending, that's right, to be married, along with their commodified children, Chip and Joanna Gaines have publicly traded biblical truth for progressive applause, turning their shiplap empire into a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. I was like, the tea is piping hot. This is like biblical reading. You know how they say reading for like how do they say it? Like dragging. This is like a biblical drag, if you will. The bottom line is really about their bottom line. They decided that compromise with an approval from the world is more profitable than obedience to God. This new rainbow-themed adventure from the fixer-uppers was met with significant backlash from the public Christian figures, and rightly so. Megan Basham responded, as someone who, quote, as someone who was an enormous fan and booster early in your careers, I wrote multiple positive articles in a Christian magazine when few knew who you were. It is incredibly disappointing to see you capitulate to the spirit of the age, end quote. And I know Megan Basham because she interviewed me for the Daily Wire. So she's good people over there. Yeah. So there's Megan's tweet. And here is Protestia. It says a new reality TV show executive produced by professing Christian couple Chip and Joanna Gaines prominently features a gay married couple as one of their 3 contestant families living as pioneers in 1881. This sellout is all the more surprising in some ways because the Gaineses all but built their brand on a foundation of Christian values. When Fixer Upper premiered in 2013, Chip and Joanna quickly became household names, not just for their home renovation skills, but also for their wholesome image. They openly shared their faith, attending Antioch Community Church in Waco, Texas, a congregation known for its evangelical roots. Though on further examination, we now know that Antioch is a feminist, egalitarian, affirming church. And it appears there will be no action taken to correct Chip and Joanna for their promotion of sin in their new show. They probably give a lot of donations, maybe. Joanna often spoke of her reliance on scripture, and their episodes were peppered with family prayers, references to God's provision, and a portrayal of marriage as a sacred union between one man and one woman. Their many children were front and center, embodying the biblical mandate in Genesis 1:28 to be fruitful and multiply, and painting a picture of joyful embrace of God's good creation order designed for the family. For years, to the casual observer, this didn't just look like window dressing to appeal to a niche market. It was a core part of their appeal. In interviews, Chip described their success as, quote, God's favor, and Joanna's books, like The Magnolia Story, chronicled how faith guided their decisions. Fans, especially fellow Christians, flocked to Magnolia Market in Waco, seeing it as a beacon of traditional values. Their brand exploded, books, merchandise, a network, all built on the promise or lie that they were devout Christians. Excuse me. However, now that we have a good reason to review their record with greater scrutiny, the indicators of compromise were undeniable. Plenty of other posts throughout the years, which went unnoticed, reveal that they had decided to abandon scripture for the acceptance of sexual degeneracy. And I'm just like, I did not know this because, see, I didn't really pay attention to them much anymore. So this is like all new to me. On Instagram, yes, Europe 1982. Yes, Magnolia Farms and Fixer Upper. Yes. That's what we're talking about. Megan Basham found that Chip and Joanna have a, quote, close professional and personal ties to a strange, listen to this, y'all, this is so crazy, polyamory arrangement in which a husband and father brought another man into the home and they are now together while the wife remains to raise the 4 children. It's true. This man in question is Billy Jack Bronner, Magnolia photographer. I am told that the Gaineses did not rebuke this situation, but instead have affirmed Billy Jack in his choices. The rot in Waco goes a lot deeper than I suspected. It appears Clint Harp, who was a regular on Fixer Upper and is close friends with Chip and Joanna, is fully affirming. The Gaineses also produced a standalone show for him. Meanwhile, I have now heard from multiple sources that the Gaineses have close friends in which the father, where was I? The father left the family to be a gay man, and rather than rebuke him, the Gaineses have affirmed him. So it appears that their acceptance of LGBTQ has been something of an open secret in Waco for a while. Hold on. You read that right. They publicly praised and celebrated their longtime photographer coming out as gay and even inviting a man to live with him, his wife, and their children. A bizarre throuple arrangement that mocks the sanctity of marriage and will only confuse their children. Romans 1:26-27 clearly condemns homosexual behavior as, quote, dishonorable passions. Yet the Gaines chose friendship over fidelity to God's word. This isn't the Christianity they once professed. It's a watered down, progressive version that cherry picks verses to justify sin. True Christianity affirms that marriage is exclusively between one man and one woman, and Jesus himself taught in Matthew 19:4 through 6. The Bible says, have you not read that he who created them from the beginning made them male and female? Therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife. Anything else is a distortion, leading souls to hell. The Gaineses' inclusion of this couple signals a total surrender to the LGBTQ agenda, which seeks not equality, but supremacy, demanding affirmation of what God calls abomination. Leviticus 18:22. Chip's defense of this compromise only compounds the betrayal. So the husband, the leader of the home, is defending this. In response to the backlash, Chip took to social media and interviews, twisting scripture to shield their decisions. He invoked Matthew 7, judge not that you be not judged, as if calling sin what it actually is equates to unrighteous judgment. This is what he posted. Talk, ask questions, listen, maybe even learn. Too much to ask of a modern American Christian culture. Judge first, understand later / never. It's a sad Sunday when, quote, non-believers have never been confronted with hate or vitriol until they are introduced to a modern American Christian. But this is a gross misapplication. Jesus' words warn against hypocritical judgment, not discerning right from wrong. In John 7:24, he commands, do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment, which we talked about on the show a couple of days ago, judging with righteous judgment. Chip's selective quoting ignores passages like 1 Corinthians 6:9-10, which lists homosexual practice among sins that bar one from the kingdom of God unless repented of. By wielding judge not as a club against critics, Chip echoes the Pharisees who twisted God's law for personal gain. What makes this sellout particularly pathetic is the timing. It's 2025, a decade after the Supreme Court's Obergefell v. Hodges decision legalized same-sex marriage nationwide. Back then, cultural momentum seemed unstoppable with support for LGBTQ causes surging. But now, polls show Republican support for same-sex marriage at a record low since Obergefell. Overall acceptance, while still high among liberals, is showing cracks as Americans grapple with the fallout. Confused children in schools, the loss of religious freedoms, and a society unmoored from God's design. Transgender issues and drag queen story hours have awakened many to the slippery slope that ends in unspeakable horrors. Why cave now when the tide is turning? The Gaineses could have stood firm, bolstering the remnant faithful. Instead, they've chosen the broad road that leads to destruction. We all know that scripture. This isn't about hating or, quote, judging individuals. It's about loving the truth, obeying God, and defending the bedrock of society, the family. Homosexuals, like all sinners, need the gospel's transforming power, not affirmation in their sin. The Gaines's progressive Christianity offers a cheap grace without repentance, a feel-good faith that saves no one, and I will add, from this condemned and dying world. Just as Ezekiel 33:6 charges the watchman, Christians are called to warn of danger, and if we fail, the blood is on our hands. Chip and Joanna, repent and return to the narrow path. If your church doesn't love you enough to tell you that, I do. I pray you hear and heed this warning. While money may have been the driving factor in this choice to trade Zion for Sodom, here's what's at the root of the confused theology they are using to defend themselves. The Gaines think they can be more loving than Jesus. They think they can be nicer than Jesus. They can't. No one can. Jesus teaches that marriage is between a man and a woman, and that hell is a consequence of unrepentant sin. And Jesus knows better than you. So, that is that. Now, let's talk about it. Sorry, I had to read, not sorry, but I had to read all that so we can have a full conversation. But let me read the super chat first. It says from William McAlley, hello, and thanks for watching, and thank you for the super chat. It says, hey, Keisha, I saw your video yesterday, barefoot and out of options, about the Islamic lady coming to Christ. It was very captivating. Thank you so much. You guys, if you have not seen it, please go and watch it. I will put the link in the description for you. I interviewed Lena Barrow. She was a Muslim and she came to Christ. She gave her life to Christ. It is a very moving episode. And you're gonna cry because it's very moving. But this is the link. There you go. So thank you, William. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for your support. Megan says, I think it's funny that people actually thought they were exactly as they portrayed themselves on TV. They are a curated persona and lifestyle for consumption TV. That is, I think that's true. When we see these personalities, I come from, the entertainment industry. So I never fully believe what I see. I actually, when I heard that they were Christians, I was like, but they portrayed that for such a long time that I thought, it was serious. And it could have been serious. It could have been, but we see people all the time. They get enticed. There is one line by Jay-Z that I say people really underestimate when he says bright lights are enticing. That is true. Bright lights are enticing. I've been there. It's true. They are. And you have to be really strong to turn away from these things. But that's why the enemy does it, because he hopes that you won't be strong in these things. But let me read back up. Julian, he says, talking about gas, he's like, I'm in New York City and I take the train, $35 for the whole week. Okay. Not bad. Paul's South Soul says, having cash in your pocket is a good thing, but having Christ in your heart is a million times better. Amen to that. Y'all are my people. My co-host. Megan says, yep, but there is a lot of churches that preach that this isn't a problem. Isn't that crazy that we see more churches? It's almost like there are more, it's like a wave of secular people who are becoming Christian, and then like the old Christians are like turning away from it. It's like this weird thing that's happening. It's like the ones that's been in the faith for a long time, they're like, the world looks a little enticing. Yeah. Crazy stuff. Julian says, just tell them the truth in love without compromising. It's, it seems hard. Like, let me ask you guys, have you ever had to do that? Like, have you ever had to share the gospel with someone that was, that was in like homosexuality or something like that? Have you ever had to? Because I feel like it's easier to share the gospel when it's like, adultery or fornication. Fornication is, heterosexual fornication. I feel like a lot of people think that that's easier to, to share the gospel, but it's actual. I mean, how do you guys do? Do you find it harder? Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay. Y'all feel free to ban and block people, Karen. You feel free, and Megan, if you see people posting about, weird stuff about that's inappropriate, feel free to ban them. Like I don't mind disagreement, but when they're talking about like inappropriate stuff, ban them. So let's see. Let's see. Julian says, isn't it bunkers that you have to make a disclaimer before you speak truth nowadays? Right. I don't. Right. It is, people, a lot of things can be taken a lot of different ways. So I know I try to make sure my words are seasoned, let's see. Megan says, I'm in my Winston Churchill era. No concessions, no capitulation. Okay. And this is like when we need to be in that era, because there are a lot of people who think that what they're doing is wrong because there isn't anybody that has told them, like, look, your sin separates you from a holy God. And if you stay in this sin, and don't repent, you will be eternally separated from him. People don't want to tell others that. Let's see. It's not about, Megan says it's not about they love the love of the world. They are probably just normal people who use the notion of them being Christian as a selling point. No, Megan, I think that they are, I mean, this is what they said themselves. Like, that was Chip Gaines. Like, he tweeted that about, like, oh, the church is not being loving because many people came out and said, no, this is not, we're not with this. So he himself said that. And remember, they had been pressured in the past to do a fixer-upper for a homosexual couple, and they said no because of their faith. So now it's like, why the switch? So, like, those are facts that happened. Yes. All right, so I'm going to play. I have a Sun. I didn't play the Sunny video for you guys. So this is what Sunny said. Let's go back to the voter ID for a little bit, because I saw somebody say something about Sunny, and I forgot to play that for you. Let's see what wonderful thoughts she has to say about the Black and Browns.
Cars, don't have driver's licenses. So it's sort of a vestige. I think post-slavery, don't have cars, don't have driver's licenses. So it's sort of a vestige of, I think, post-slavery laws where Black people had to prove their right to vote, and oftentimes they couldn't vote because they couldn't pass some crazy test, or they didn't have the appropriate ID. It also affects women that are married. Maybe your passport reflects something that's different on your birth certificate or on your driver's license. So really, the bottom line is voter suppression. And I agree with him 100%. It's a brilliant notion that less voter ID laws allows more people to vote. And most democracies do it that way. We're the only ones that really.
Look at how he's looking at her like, this heifer is crazy. Even he knows that this is some nonsense. Look at his face. My goodness.
Driver's licenses. So it's sort of a vestige of, I think, post-slavery laws where Black people had to prove their right to vote, and oftentimes they couldn't vote because they couldn't pass some crazy test, or they didn't have the appropriate ID. It also affects women that are married. Maybe your passport reflects something that's different on your birth certificate or on your driver's license. So really, the bottom line is voter suppression. And I agree with him 100%. It's a brilliant notion that less voter ID laws allows more people to vote, and most democracies do.
Less voter ID laws allow more people to vote. More non-citizens, Sonny? Yes. Sure, less ID laws would allow more people to vote. But I don't think that that's the goal. We're not suffering from not enough people voting. It's making sure that American citizens are voting. Like, how did you miss that part of this whole conversation? Because they don't really want Americans to vote. They want everybody else to vote but Americans. Julian, I'm with you. Yeah, people can say what they want. I think Sunny is a beautiful woman. Beautiful on the outside, but ugly is to the bone. That ugly is to the bone. Megan is setting them straight. We aren't a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. So, yes, we have a democratic way of voting, but that we still want to be properly represented, Sonny. Okay. We don't want illegals. But why is this? I would be so embarrassed if I was a Democrat to come out and say in any kind of way that voter ID was bad. I would never like that. Because it's stupid. And I would never want to look ignorant. But they have no problem opening up their mouths and being like, nope, we don't need voter ID. Voter ID. The Black folks can't. I mean, they just say it. They have no self-awareness of how they sound. They are so caught in the delusion. They have no idea that they are literally believing the same things as the KKK believed. It is fascinating. Fascinating. Boy, I tell you. Hold on, I want to show y'all this. That reminds me of something. You know, the Democrats always try to act like, oh, it's the Republicans. It's the Republicans that are racist. They hate the Black and browns. But I want you to take a look at this hilarious video that proves our point. Watch this. This is hilarious. Okay, look. So here we go. The woke person, meaning the lefty. Here, let me do. Where's my okay? The woke person, him, and the racist. Okay, watch.
When me and Brad first met, I didn't think we'd get along, but turns out we kind of agree on everything. Your racial identity is the most important thing. Everything should be looked at through the lens of race.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. We both have a lot of opinions about people of color, even though we barely know any.
I say colored people, but as long as we're classifying them, we both think minorities are a united group who think the same and act the same.
And vote the same. You don't want to lose your black card. Sorry, I don't know. I just think we should
roll back discrimination laws so we can hire based on race again. Jinx, now you owe me a Coke. Hey, tell them what you told me yesterday.
White actors should only do voices for white cartoon characters.
I've been saying that for years. Stick to your own.
Us white people, we have so much privilege.
I agree. It is a privilege to be white. Ask him about interracial dating.
All I said is that black men who date white women have internalized racism, and white men that date ethnic women are fetishizing them.
Guys against interracial dating now. Like, am I being pranked? Did Boomer put you up to this?
Ugh, you know that taco place is white owned?
White people should be making white foods like Kraft macaroni and cheese, no seasoning, not even salt. It's like he's a mind reader. I mean, I've been pushing for segregation forever, and my man does what?
I created an improv comedy show exclusively for ethnic people.
Guy segregates comedy on my birthday.
White people need to stop wearing dreadlocks, and they need to stop appropriating black people's music.
Shaved heads and country music, the way God intended.
You know all white people are racist.
I'm listening.
Even if you have a black wife or a black friend group, you're still really racist.
You know, we just kicked a guy out of the organization for having a black girlfriend, but if you can promise me he's still really racist, we'll consider letting him back in.
Black people should only shop at black businesses. I guess the only thing we really disagree about is I think white people are the root of all evil.
But what did I tell you, though? If we can narrow that down to a certain group of tiny-hatted white people, I think we can come to an understanding.
Technically, I don't consider Jewish people white.
Neither do I.
Like, that was basically this video was like 8 years old or something crazy like that, and they are still saying the same things. In fact, now we have some of these far right people, which are basically leftists, saying the same thing. I mean, it's just spot on. Mega Driver 23 says they forgot that the KKK was founded by the Southern Democrats. Okay. Look at this lady, Coral Lee. Black, 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 black. Get over yourself. Now, you wouldn't be assuming that I'm a lefty because I'm black, are you? Coralie says I'm racist.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
She get another one.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
I find it very suspicious. Yes, I do. Very suspicious. Hello, Cisco Green. Welcome. Lone Wolf and Cub says Democrats equals being okay with Americans having their vote not count. I would say every American should have their vote count. Democrats don't feel the same. They don't. And every American who is able to vote should. And we should require ID to make sure that you can vote. It's really that simple. What is going on? Okay, there we go. Coralie is a left-tart. Sounds that way. Let's see. Lone Wolf and Cub says at least Democrats admit it. There are some Americans, they're okay with them losing their vote. They are. They justify it though. Like they try to act like everything that we see, like the reality that we live in, that's not really reality. They try to say, oh no, like that's not really happening here. It's just, it's like a figment of our imagination that illegals aren't voting, trying to vote, and that we should not have wait, what is this? That we shouldn't have voter ID. Oh, I just see another video. This is just too crazy. Okay, I just look at this. Look at this.
90.
Watch this. I have it. I'm like literally pulling this up as we are chatting. So, watch this. Let's see. This is Greg, a Black conservative. So he just posted this not too long ago.
99.9% of the time, it is wrong for a white person to call a Black person the N-word, but we may have found the exception. In Minneapolis recently, a white anti-ICE protester was in a group of anti-ICE protesters yelling at a Black ICE Gestapo agent. An unidentified white male called the Black ICE agent a house N-word who's working for the KKK. That's right, we have a white man calling a Black man the N-word. But this is a little bit different. White on Black usage of the N-word is a very serious issue. But this is a curveball example. Is it wrong for a white person to call a Black ICE officer a house N-word? Let's explore. The white man who used the N-word in this situation was being historically precise. This Black ICE agent, he is being a house N-word to the utmost degree. A Black man in ICE is a modern house slave. He's a barely paid mule for white supremacy. The KKK were domestic terrorists. ICE is domestic terrorism. I think this is a valid usage of the N-word. He's not attacking his Blackness per se. He's attacking his bootlicking choice to be in ICE while being a Black man. Being Black in ICE makes you a house N-word. So to call you that, it's almost like a professor pointing out, oh, look, there's a modern house N-word. I think this usage is valid and acceptable. If it had just been the N-word, that would be problematic. But when he adds the house N-word, he's being historically realistic. So yes, it is okay to call Black ICE agents house N-words.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about a
Oh, Wow. I had to put my drip on for that one because I'm trying to remain in my not tell people off era, and this makes me feel fancy. Okay, because when I see stuff like that, it makes me want to go off because it's absolutely stupid. So I'm putting on this getup when the stupid is really stupiding. Now, these same people, okay, so let me get this straight. So this whole week we've been the black and browns, we can't vote. We don't know how to get IDs. We don't know how to live life. Okay, we can't manage anything. We're like deaf, dumb, and blind, basically. Okay, we're like Stevie Wonder up in this piece. And then they've been telling us all week that, and all for a couple months now, that ICE is racist and everybody's racist and the Republicans are racist and they just want to, race. Now, when a black man happens to be an ICE agent providing for his family, taking care of his family, having a job, doing what he needs to do. Now, all of a sudden, a white liberal can call him the N-word. I don't know.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Suspicious and weird. It's very suspicious and weird. And I'm just trying to understand, when is the foolishness going to end? Who is this person in the comments? Flippity twist. Republicans crazy? So flippity twist, you don't have any. Your profile says it all. You probably be around there using you are the type of white lefty that calls people the N-word, aren't you? That's you, isn't it? That's you, huh? Huh? That's you. Watch your language. Watch your language. You looks like you would probably be right there using the N-word too. Yeah. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Yeah, you definitely would. I just showed you how a liberal use the N-word on a black man that y'all say y'all just, y'all. But your people told you that was okay. But you just heard that and you said Republicans are crazy. That was a lefty who said that using the N-word was cool. That was a lefty. So who's really the crazy ones? Who's the crazy ones? Oh my gosh, this is y'all, boy, the liberals. Foolishness is forever. Oh boy. Why are blacks always trying to prove there's somebody if you were? Why are blacks always trying to prove there's somebody if you were, you wouldn't have to prove it? It wouldn't even come up in your mind, but you feel inferior. You feel this is necessary. Why are anonymous people on YouTube typing in all caps and not properly using punctuation so we can understand what the freak you trying to say? Why are people always doing that? Huh? We can't even read your comment. The racist got you blind. We can't even see what you trying to understand. We can't even comprehend. And it ain't my melanin that's keeping me from comprehending. It's your lack of punctuation. Ugh, and you have to know, like, if I was gonna go and try to insult a group of people, you better understand my post would be properly punctuated. It will be properly posted. So you could really get to the crux of what I'm trying to say. Yeah. If I was going to insult somebody or try to, I would definitely make sure my post was accurate. How you doing? Blocked. I'm blocking. I feel like blocking people. I feel like blocking people. If you can't come up here with something good to say, you will get blocked. You will get blocked. Yes, you will. No cussing, get blocked. Back talking, you get blocked. Ad hominem attacks, you get blocked. You get blocked. You get blocked. You can't come in here with nothing to say, or you get blocked. You get blocked. Oh, you get blocked. You get blocked. Don't come up in here with the foolishness. Yes, I made that off the top of the head. That's my songwriting skills. Yeah. Don't come up in here. Look, you can disagree. Please disagree. Y'all know I love me a good debate. But at least like have some substance. Hold on. Let me fix my get up here. Okay. I need a little pizzazz right there, you know. Okay. Yeah. Don't come up in here cussing and like we can have a debate. I'm cool with that. Y'all know I loves me a good debate. Okay. Y'all so funny. Said this girl is my sister from another mother. Hey, bud. You know, we gotta keep it. We gotta laugh. With the people be crazy. Oh, we got another one. You get blocked. Oh, you get blocked. You get blocked. Oh, you get blocked. You get blocked. Yeah. You get blocked. You get blocked. Oh gosh, man, that is crazy though. Like, how are you going? Okay, now my menopause is kicking in. It's hot. How are you going to call? This is one of these dudes. This dude is one of the ones. This one with the fro, he's been one of the ones for years talking about the right is racist, Republicans are racist, Trump is racist, everybody racist. But he's cool with white people using the N-word. I've told y'all this a long time ago. A long time ago, I realized that the left, it's not really about, it's really about the Democrat Party. Because remember, they're like, oh, white men are racist, but only Republican white men. Because they elected Joe Biden at like 90-something% clip, the black and browns. So how can that be? Excuse me. It's really about you being a lefty or a Republican or a conservative. It's not really about the color of they only use the race thing when it's going to benefit them. But you can see by what this dude said, the left does not care really about, they just use it. They don't care about anything. They just use whatever narrative they think will fit them at the time. Put some gold hearts in the chat if you know I am telling the whole truth. They only use whatever is going to benefit them. They really don't care about the issue. It's only whatever's going to fulfill their narrative. That's it. If you know what I'm talking about, please put some gold hearts in the chat for your girl. Yes. Friend zone million. Oh yeah, the GOP cares about black folks. 15 years ago, it became obvious the new discrimination would be monetary. What? How so, friend zone millionaire? How is this? Since you want to talk about monetary and you a friend zone millionaire, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. Please expound. Expound on your post. J Money 15 says, whoever talks about helping the black community, I might vote for him. What about helping your own household? J Money. Okay, so here we go. Let's play a game. Let's play a game. Y'all want to play? All right. So we have 2 households. All right. I am happily married. Happily married. So I'm not interested in anyone else. My husband has my full, total, complete heart. I love my husband. Okay, so we have 2 households, right? They're both black. All right, J Money? Your household, you make 6 figures. You own a business. You are seeing taxes go really high. Your neighbor, this other black household, they don't own a business. They work for a company. They make that household makes $50,000 a year. Now for you don't need taxes to go up because your family benefits from lower taxes. I mean, every family benefits for lower taxes, but just go with what I'm saying. Your family is going to benefit for lower taxes, especially not just your income tax, but your business tax, right? The other home, they don't have to worry about business taxes. They don't have to worry about any other things that you have to think about for you. How do you say whoever's talking about, what does that mean? Doing something for the black community, because you're black and y'all 2 are in community together, but y'all's circumstances are completely different. So how do you discern then what is actually doing things for Black people? Because for you, your household needs one thing and another Black person's household needs another. How do you do that, Mr. J Money? How are you working that out? Shab Beezy, what's popping? Black Americans are strangely funny. Whatevs. Megan says, just a reminder to the mods, there are 2 videos for each live. There are the one we're in now and one for vertical. So check them both out and make sure you hit the like button and patrol for weirdos. Thank you, Megan. Appreciate that. Please, yes, there are 2 lives. I'm trying to stay on both also. So yes, please remember that. Shabeezy. This chat is so off point. It is, I know. Just ignore them and block them if they get out of control. Jim Borgini says Black people who immigrated to America are far more successful than Black people who are born here. Why is that? That is a really good question. All right, we'll get back to you in a second, J Money, because I want to answer your question that we can talk about that. Okay. But Jim Borgini asked why Black people who immigrated to America are far more successful than Black people who were born here. Why is that? It's because of culture. Black Americans have adopted a culture that supports destruction, degeneracy, and debauchery, and it's just many, not all, but many have adopted just a culture of behavior that doesn't promote education, that doesn't promote a stable family. We're not promoting a stable family, therefore we have a lot of female-headed homes. Therefore, with female-headed homes, that already gives, it's not balanced. That you need a man in the home. The man is the family is the foundation of any good society, and God set the system up where the man is the head of the home. It's God, man, woman, children. That is God's way. That's how He set it up to work best. And since we have an overabundance of properly situated families, particularly amongst Black Americans and growing amongst other Americans as well, that's why we see Black or immigrants who happen to have more melanin do better, because their cultures are more intact. They come from a family. Typically, their family structures are still together. That's how we know that it's not about money. Money doesn't necessarily automatically bring great morals, because you can be poor, just like Black people were back in the day, widely poor, but still had great character. They still succeeded. You have to be moral, and you have to do things right in order to have long-term success. And so that's where we are, unfortunately. So, okay, Jay Money. He said, I'm speaking on the homelessness in California. Instead of Newsom stealing our taxes and actually help the people. Okay, cool. But your post said, if whoever talks about helping the Black community, I might vote for him. Like, or what are you trying to say? Black people are homeless? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean, sir? But Black people struggle with this. I'm not sure. Vader TM says, is America based on God's way? America is the founding documents, where the principles of the documents are based on a Christian, Judeo-Christian moral ethic. Yes, that is correct. Franklin White, hello. It says Democrats or Republicans don't care about FBAs, which are foundational Black Americans, but the Democrats are more destructive. Pro-immigration isn't beneficial for the Black community. No, it is not. See, I have a problem with thinking that a political party is supposed to care for you anyway. Like, I already got a problem with the idea that some stranger, some political party is supposed to care in the way that foundational Black Americans, by this statement, want them to. What do you mean by that? Democrats nor Republicans, like neither one cares. You don't even know these people. Like, how much care are they supposed to have for you? You know what I mean? They're supposed to be making sure the country or their community, regardless, the community of all the people in the community, they're supposed to be doing what is best for all the people in the community, not one group of people, because all people have the same needs. Now, same basic needs. Now, when you get to all this other like stuff, like when it gets more individual, more personalized, see, that's when I think the government tries to do too much. The government cannot just care for one particular group of people, because I know y'all don't want them to care for just white folks, right? Okay, exactly. What culture do Black and white people have? I don't know. It really depends. It depends. That's a very broad question. Malcolm Montero says, you seem smart. Well, thank you. I hope that was for me, but if it wasn't, I'm still taking the compliment. All righty. Yes, Pastor Pork Chop. American culture, that's what Black and white people have. True. Black people are America, and so are whites, and so are Asians, and so are Hispanics, and so are a lot of different cultures, a lot of different people groups, I should say. But we should have one American culture. That's the goal. We need one American culture. We can have our subcultures, but when we come together, it should be one American culture, the United States of America. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We are allowed to talk about anything we want. Just because others don't want to have that conversation, that's on them. That doesn't stop you, Jim. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but yeah, I mean, speak away. That's what this is for. Let's chat. Kelly CJ says, do you think your vote really matters? They give us these crappy candidates that are already compromised and probably already taking money from Netanyahu. Oh gosh. And then they steal our tax money so they can. Okay. We don't deal in conspiracy theories unless we outright say, okay, this is a conspiracy theory. But just like blanket stating as if it's a fact that Netanyahu, listen to this, y'all. You think your vote really matters because they give us these crappy behind candidates that are already compromised and probably already taking money from Netanyahu. And then they steal our tax money. Okay. So they is Bibi. So what are you saying? Like, did Bibi set up our tax system or something? What does Israel, BB, what they got to do with this, Kelly? Kelly, girl, you're making women look bad, all right? We already got enough with all of the toxic femininity that's out there, that this anti-feminine, this anti-godly feminine way to behave. We already got enough opposition. Women are already looking crazy out here. That's not a good look for you, ma'am. It's not, it doesn't make women look particularly with it when we start saying crazy stuff like that. It's you're not helping us. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Jay Swiss says the welfare state feminism has damaged the biblical structure of the nuclear family and the Black community. It has certainly been a huge detriment in the Black family, particularly because Black people were already behind, and then this just like it crushed our innovation and the progress that we made. Yeah, but you can't just blame it on the system, because the system couldn't have done what it did without participation. And that's the part I think we don't like to talk about. Like, it couldn't have done what it did because this wasn't just to Black folks. These programs were rolled out to everybody, but just a lot of Black people happened to take hold of them. Black women were more willing to go along with kicking their husbands out, or just not having a man around. We really bought the hype of, I don't need a man. Like, this is one of the craziest things ever. But you couldn't have it unless both participated. So, William, thank you again for the support. I truly do appreciate it. After today, I will only be supporting by way of Cash App, because more goes directly to you. But don't think I am not supporting. Thank you so much. I will see them. I don't see. Let me see. Let me make sure. Let's see. But this is the these are the ways that you can support, and I really do appreciate it. Did I read all of these? Let me take that off. All right. Thank you so much. You're so sweet, Karen. I appreciate it. Y'all, my co-hosts be co-hosting. Thank you, guys. Keisha is smart. I appreciate it. Let's see. We're going to be wrapping up. Hey, Steph. What's going on? She looks nothing like... Thank you. I saw that. Just kept on scrolling, girl. Thank you. Okay. Y'all are so, you know what? I like when you insult, I just know I've had worse by better. When you try to insult me, it really, I don't care. Like, I want you to feel this from the depths of my soul. Your insults mean absolutely nothing to me. Nothing. I don't care. I've heard, you can't even imagine the things that I've heard simply because I'm not a Democrat. So you're all of your insults and all that. I don't care. Hear me, and hear me well. Shaniqua. You're so funny. Oh, man. All right, you guys. So we are going to be wrapping it up. Here's some good advice for you. Attention, all lefties. Please stop watching The View, Rachel Maddow, MSDNC, and CNN. Please stop. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it. Get a life, Bubba. Yeah, exactly, Bubba. Listen to what I'm saying, and listen to what the co-hosts are saying in the comments too. You could learn something. That's what we want to do over here. We don't want to just, tell you what's happening. We want to try to actually make a difference. I mean, that's what I certainly want to do. And I know my co-hosts do too. We all want to make a difference over here. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I had some disagreement, some legitimate disagreement comments. Jamaica has 90% of Black African descent. The other 10 white and Asians, and Kamala Harris is a coolie Indian, like the reggae artist Super Cat, not a Black woman. Oh, yes, she. Kamala. Well, thank you. See, this was the goal. I feel like I've done my job today. This has made my day. Love how you make us think. Just subscribe. That's the goal. I'm really not even trying to, you got to vote left or right. I mean, I don't think you should vote for the left because I don't see any benefit. But I want us to think, because I think if we think, then we will make better decisions. If we just take a second. Thank you so much, Jamin. I really like that. That's the goal. Appreciate it. Let's see. Pastor Pork Chop, you are gorgeous. Your parents on earth and your beautiful intent just made me your new subscriber. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. Trying to see if I can, because some of the comments I don't know. You're responding to stuff that I just don't know. Yeah, it's true, Megan. The vertical chat is always full of more winners than the other chat. I know it just happened because the vertical gets pushed out more, which I don't mind. Listen, I'm not complaining. Like, that's why I say, like, we don't want to ban everybody. Okay, let the haters hate, because that is engagement, and then YouTube is going to continue to push the video out. We want that, but we don't want the cussing and all that stuff. We'll take a good debate, but that works in our favor. Gregory Bloomer says, first time listener, you have me hooked. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Megan says, the left hates their voter base, so why vote for something that hates you? My co-host. They be knowing. Let's see. Karen says, right, stop watching these leftist news media. Stop watching it. But you know what, Karen, though? It's like, you gotta watch it to see what they're trying to do. Like, you gotta see like what the enemy's up to. But thank you guys so much. We're going to go ahead and wrap it on up. I really appreciate you all. Thank you for super chatting, tuning in, liking, throw some gold hearts in the chat for the show. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you, co-host Megan, Karen. Yes, Megan and Karen, I really appreciate you. Stephanie, thank you so much. And all my co-hosts, I really appreciate you guys. So we will, what are you guys doing tomorrow? Are y'all getting booed up for your booze? What are y'all doing tomorrow? It's Valentine's Day. Are y'all getting snazzy? Are you getting snazzy? You gonna get fined for your mans? So, I'm not sure if I'll be going live tomorrow. We'll see. Probably not. We'll be coming back on like, maybe I will go live tomorrow because I'm not going to be live Sunday and then we'll be back on Monday. But we'll see. Jay Money says, I'm single and gotta work. Okay. Well, you know what then? Yes, we'll go on live tomorrow. We'll do a live tomorrow for the single people out there. Just Jokes is clearly joking. There's a hooker down the street. I may ask her to be my Valentine. Yeah, but we heard word on the curb is what she's given. Them packages is not what you want. These aren't Amazon packages that will be dropped off. Okay, be careful with that. Don't do it. Oh my goodness. Megan says there are demonstrations for free Iran stuff. Please check it out if you're interested. Yes. Okay. You know what? I do have some stuff on Iran, so maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. Jay Swiss has the current dating pool has P in it. Haven't found her yet. It does, but they're out there. Nisa says, nice to meet you. Where are you from? I am from the United States. I live in Florida. Megan says, I am single and working from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, definitely, girl. We got you. I'm going to give you something to pop in those headphones so we can have a key. And I mean, tomorrow we'll be serious. We can laugh and talk about serious stuff too. Just Joke says cheaper than Applebee's. It might be cheaper than Applebee's, but it's long lasting. Okay. long lasting. There are 3 major protests. If you can't participate, please pray for the Iranian people to be free from the IRG. Amen. You know what? We are definitely going to talk about that tomorrow because I do need to give an update. We haven't talked about Iran in a minute. So thanks for that, Megan. All right, y'all. I will see you back tomorrow, 3 o'clock. We'll be back here at 3 tomorrow. Back on our serious note. We're going to put our hats back on and get back to business. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you for watching. I will see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And turn on those notifications too because YouTube be tripping sometimes. Bye.